What's going on? This is Gengar's watch list, and I wanted to talk about the episode of an anime that I watched this week that felt like had the best twist, one of the most interesting little extras that came with it that I really wasn't expecting. Now, the best anime that I saw this week was definitely Dan to Dan. Episode 7 was incredible. I made a separate video about that. But one of the anime that I'm watching right now that I really like is Gun Gale Online. This is basically a spin-off of Sword Art Online. I know it's the anime that everybody loves to hate, but I really like the Sword Art Online anime. I think they're fun, but I like this spin-off, this Gun Gale Online spin-off, which is basically a spin-off of season 2, I believe, of Sword Art Online, where Kirito, I think that's what his name was. It's been a little while since I've watched it. Was basically playing in a game where they were, battling with guns and all this kind of stuff. And so now you've got this series where it's completely separate from that, and you have people that generally are participating in little battles called either squad jams or bullet of bullets. They've been called both, both of them throughout the seasons. But this is they're in one of the squad jams right now. I think this is Squad Jam 3 that they're in, and we've got the main characters that are part of this series. We've got Len and M. So Len is the girl in the pink right here. She's, I'd say, like the main character of this anime. We've got M, who's the guy over here. We've got Fukazero, who maybe I'm pronouncing that wrong, is the blonde girl right here. And then you've got Pito, who is the character that is not with them right now. And this episode specifically, I really enjoyed, had a fun twist in it. So now I figured we'd just do a quick recap of this episode, what's been going on so far, and then we'll get into the little twist that was right at the end that I really enjoyed with this one. So if you are watching Gun Gale Online right now, you know what's going on. But if you're not, just a quick summary of this. So like I mentioned, there's something called Squad Jam that's going on right now. And this is basically where you've got teams that have been put together and they're all competing against one another, where you try to be the last team standing. It's basically a free-for-all. You try to be the last team standing that are battling each other. And in this squad jam, what the setting is you've got water that is rising on this battleground that they're all on, and it's making it so there's less and less ground available, and they're all consolidating to this cruise ship that's at the center of everything. And so that can obviously float, and then if the water keeps coming, they can keep fighting on that. And along with this, when there were only a few teams left, what happened was the administrators of the game put in a new rule, and they said, we're taking one player from each team and they're going to join a new team, make a new team out of those called the Betrayers. And so those Betrayers all got moved onto the cruise ship, and all the other teams were consolidating towards that ship. And so in this scene here, we now have all the teams that are left are on this ship, and they're just basically trying to fight each other to see who's going to be the last one standing. And this scene right here, you've got three of the main characters that we know from the show. We've got M, who's the guy right here. You've got Len, who is the girl right here. And then you've got Fukazero, and I may be pronouncing that wrong, who's the girl in the blonde right here. Now, the other main character, Pito, has been moved to the Betrayers team. And so she's been busy on that team trying to, cause all kinds of havoc. But in this scene here, basically M's getting choked. He ends up jumping into the ceiling, knocking the girl off his back that's choking him. She ends up blowing herself up with a grenade and all that. And I thought the next scene was kind of funny, just because while this was happening, you're just kind of thinking, you're like, why doesn't he just turn around or like flip her forward and they shoot, just shoot her? And the blonde girl, after this all happened, she's like, why didn't you just turn around? And then we could have shot her. And so I thought that was funny that they actually called out what felt like the loophole that was being missed right there on how to handle that situation. So I just enjoyed that. I thought that was fun. Then right after this, moved to this scene, and this is where one of the entire teams gets taken out. And I thought this was an interesting one. And so basically what happened is you've got the Betrayer team who are up in the command center for this cruise ship right now. And Pito, who is, they're the main team's like former member who's there, she comes up with a plan to turn on the sprinklers while this team is running through the ship. And while they're running through the ship, with the sprinklers running and it's salt water that's on this, she turns on the amusement park. And it ends up electrocuting all the members of that team. And so that's, you can see the little dead signs there. Basically, this entire team was eliminated all at once. So that took care of a big group of the remaining members. Now the next one happened again. This was another team that got all eliminated at once. Like I said, we've had the water that was rising, and this one team made the mistake of getting on the top of this tall building, so they got stranded there. And so her team, one of the betrayer team members, was like, "Hey, can we at least go and like pick them up, and so then they can continue with this battle?" And Pito was like, "Sure, let's do that." And so she heads the ship towards it, and what happens is the ship just slams into the building and ends up killing that entire team. So now you've got another team that was eliminated immediately. And what you don't know at this point is that you think maybe something happened to Pito that caused the ship to run into it. And so what happens is that remaining member of that team who just all got killed, he runs into the command center to see what happened, why Pito ran the ship into it, and you see her passed out on the ground. And so he runs over to go check on her, see what had happened, and all of a sudden, she was not passed out, and she has one of those, like, basically like a lightsaber, and she shoots that straight through his face. And so he immediately gets eliminated, and now we're just like, what is going on with this character? And so you can see her that this is the Pito character. So she eliminates that character, and we don't know why she's killing off her team members now. And so, and she's kind of a crazy character anyway, so it's not like a huge surprise. Like, you could see her just turning on everybody and killing them all, because she has kind of that crazy personality in this show. But this is a scene where one of the other members of this betrayer team basically comes up to her and is like accusing her of what's going on. Like, why are you doing this? And he's going to attack her now. And she says something to him, and they just show her lips moving, but they don't show what she says. So we don't know what's going on. We don't know what she told him. And they start this, call it kind of like an epic lightsaber battle. And so it's a pretty great sequence. I mean, the animation in this show is pretty solid. That's one of the things I really like about it too. I like the storylines, animation is solid. And so here you can see her battling with, I think his name is David, is what she calls him. I'm assuming it's David. And so they're battling, and she ends up, they're talking about the fact that these lightsabers can run out of power very quickly. He thinks that they're both basically going to have to fight hand to hand as these like lightsabers are running out of power. And it ends up that ultimately she actually has two of these lightsabers. And so when his runs out, she ends up basically slicing him in half, and then chopping him up into all kinds of little bits and everything. So that's kind of a fun sequence where we get her eliminating this character as well. So now we see her destroy the command center for this ship. So basically, we're coming down to the end. There's probably only maybe one more episode, I'm guessing, left of this sequence of battles, because the ship is largely destroyed. It's sinking. You only have a few characters left. And now this is where the big twist comes in. And so you see Pito come out, and she actually joins the other members of this team. And so she's there with M and Fukazero. And what we find out is that she actually lied and said that she was the betrayer, when actually Len, the girl in the pink, was the betrayer. And Len let her go, let her just like go off, and she didn't say anything. So Pito ends up going to this ship, joins the betrayer team, eliminates just about everyone on that betrayer team, and now she gets to have her battle with Len that she wanted to have. She ultimately wanted to fight her. Pito wanted to fight her, and so she's going to get that battle again. And so this is where you learn that this all happened. And so to me, that was a really fun twist. I was not expecting that at all in this episode, and I thought that was cool. That was a fun, interesting switch that came on this. And so now what happens is you've got one of the characters named Ava, who is one of the members of the I think she's probably the only other remaining member of the Betrayers team that is left. And she basically fires a flash grenade into this whole group so that Len can get away. And so yeah, this scene here with this flash grenade gets fired in. This gives Len an opportunity to escape from that team, and they are now together. Len is blinded by the flash grenade. I'm assuming she's going to get her, her vision back. But this was the final sequence here in this episode, in episode 7 of Gun Gale Online. And so now we've got, I believe there's only the betrayer team that consists of Len and Ava. That's this group right here. And then you've got Pito, M, and Fukuzero, who are the three remaining from the original team. And so now we're going to get to see these two fight it out. Whoever's going to win. We don't know who's going to win this, but I'm interested in this one. This one has been a lot of fun. I like this little twist that they threw into it. I was not expecting Pito to be actually not having been the betrayer. They played it up that she was all excited about being part of the betrayer team and that she was going to get to fight Len and everything. And so that was a fun twist. Let me know in the comments. Did you enjoy this one, or anybody else out there watching this? Did you see that twist coming? Because I definitely didn't. But I highly recommend checking out Gun Gale Online. I really liked season 1. I'm really enjoying season 2. Definitely one of the shows that I'm really been into so far this season. So hopefully enjoyed this, and I will see you on the next one.